With tough restrictions in place on social distancing and being limited to the number of visitors allowed into aged care workers, aged care workers are undoubtedly under so much pressure. So what advice have you been giving them?
I think it's a matter of tapping into that empathetic, compassionate listening. We're trying to get things done. People are overloaded. People in aged care have got so much on their minds with the social distancing, the support group, which is, the family that are limited in their ability to come and visit our aged people. And our aged people are very, very sensitive. The young and the elderly are much more sensitive in these situations. They pick up on nuances. So it's really important to have that sympathetic, empathetic and compassionate listening skill. Not just with the elderly, with each other at this time. It's absolutely essential. Slowing down and listening, because when we try and hurry someone up, I don't know about you, but whenever anyone tries to do that to me, I just slow down more. And I think we all do that. So it's important to really listen.
You mentioned empathetic, compassionate listening. Can you explain a little bit more about that and perhaps some tools for not only social care workers but for everybody?
Well, it's important for us to put our views on hold when we're listening to somebody else. We can come back to them. We don't need to exchange. This is not an opportunity to exchange views. This is an opportunity to draw out the fears and the compassion from one another. It's not an opportunity to trump each other with, where we are at the moment. We're all in pain. We're all suffering. We're all feeling everything that we are about anxiety at the moment. So be a patient listener. Silence is essential. One of the greater authors, Deepak Chopra, talks about the gap between the thoughts. So silence, tuning into that silence, listening to the feelings. Our currency now is our empathy. Our currency now is our ability to be able to tune into the feelings of others and respect them, and particularly the elderly. They need to be heard desperately right now. And it may be repetitive. It may be the same thing they said yesterday, but if we can hold them in our hearts at this really challenging time. And also for our care workers, self-care is so important for them right now. We need to up our level of personal self-care. We need to look at, how we're talking to ourselves. We wake up in the morning and you say, oh my God, it's still there. Yes, and that's okay. Self-care requires us to be in gratitude, to really look around us and look at that beautiful sunrise as I did this morning, and just feeling so grateful for everything. I say that we need to walk in gratitude in the mornings, just to remember what it is that we are grateful for. Self-care means that we need to just look at the boundaries that we have. Are we letting people bleed into our boundaries? Are we bleeding into other people's boundaries? How can we be more caring of ourselves? And kindness. We're really tuned into kindness at the moment. Kindness at the moment is extraordinary. I'm seeing it out there. We're seeing it on social media. It's extraordinary, the kindness that we are digging deep into at the moment. But kindness to self. That's where we start from, and aged care workers particularly. It's not sustainable. Self-sacrifice is not sustainable. To just keep giving without topping up and enriching ourselves and being kind to ourselves. Say to ourselves, darling, it's okay. It's all right. We're going to get through this, to ourselves just as much as we are to those around us.
There, Vicki, and as you said, so many people giving their best this week. We're seeing, the huge lines at Centrelink and people giving out free coffees. A post that you did yesterday on social media, I just want to bring everybody's attention to that. And for anyone interested, you can look at your Instagram at Vicki Bennett Creativity. You mentioned when you see the empty streets and the stadiums, don't say it looks like the end of the world. What we're seeing is love in action, and it's the most remarkable act of global solidarity that we may ever witness. This is so powerful.
It is so powerful. And to see what we're doing for each other, to be connected globally. Our small amount of social distancing and isolating ourselves when it's necessary, and it'll become more and more necessary. That's a gift that we give ourselves, yes, our elderly, our families, but it's the gift that we're giving globally. And look outside and say, wow, this is fantastic what we're achieving. We can do this. We've never seen anything like this before in our lives, where everybody is working together towards a common cause. It's extraordinary, and these are extraordinary times, and we have to honour that, really appreciate that. And remember that this is no time for blame, shame or guilt. It's really easy to get into, I could have done this or I should have done that. Don't should yourself around like that. At the moment, it's so important to be kind and kind to self. So blame, shame and guilt is important to let go. It's nobody's fault. We can't get into that. We just have to do the very best we can every single day of our lives and look for, I know just look for those silver linings. Look for that kindness in each other. Look for the empty streets and say, wow, what an incredible, amazing way that we as human beings are supporting and caring for each other. That's what we're doing right now.
We sure are. Vicki, your book, The Book of Hope, Antidote for Anxiety, and for more information you can look at the website vickibennett.com.au. Thank you so much for your wonderful information and advice. Being in the moment, appreciating what we do have, so much important advice. Thank you so much, Vicki.
Thank you, Janie, very much for talking to me this morning. It's been an honour.